Welcome to this presentation on disability and digital accessibility awareness created by Nicholas Stallings and Lane Amaro, presented to you by the SWAT or State Web Accessibility Team and the Idaho Assistive Technology Project. Our objectives today are to introduce you to the SWAT team, as well as help you understand the types of users, the limitations they might experience, and the assistive technologies that they utilize to access web and digital content. We will also discuss strategies that content creators and webmasters can utilize to assist or create a digital environment in which assistive technology users can access content. We'll also discuss the Idaho Technology Authority, existing policies, guidelines, and standards that assist Idaho state employees in creating digital web content. The State Web Accessibility Team, or SWAT team, was created in January of 2017 in response to complaints among the disability communities that state web resources, documents, etc. were inaccessible. Our objective has been to assist webmasters and content creators in helping bridge the gap between their content and assistive technology users. We are open to greater participation, especially from stakeholders in the web and digital content creation world, as currently we are made up of disability rights advocates and individuals with disabilities. In the 2010 census, it was estimated that approximately 1 in 5, or 20% of people in the U.S. are living with a disability, and statistics from the National Federation of the Blind suggest that there are approximately 3,800 people living in the state experiencing blindness and vision loss specifically. Every disability is experienced differently by each individual. It is a very individualized and unique experience, and the limitations one person experiences may not be the same as another. We have categorized impairments into 5 categories: visual, cognitive, learning and neurological, auditory, physical/motor, and speech. We've developed these categories because individuals in these different categories may experience similar limitations. Individuals with visual impairments may experience anything from no light perception to difficulty experiencing color. This can lead to difficulty reading text within graphics, as well as identifying specific information that is rendered using color only. For example, when filling out a form and information is not entered correctly, often the form is not submitted but is returned to the user, and fields that did not have correct information are marked only in red. Individuals with visual impairments may not be able to distinguish that red color that it tells them this particular field was incorrect. Cognitive, learning, and neurological conditions may cause a variety of experiences, impact how people process and comprehend information. Therefore, less information is sometimes better, and for individuals with neurological conditions such as a seizure disorder, repetitive lights and sounds may cause a physical reaction that could be very damaging to the individual. Other disorders in this category include attention deficit and hyperactivity disorder, anything on the autism spectrum disorder, including Asperger's syndrome, mental health conditions, including schizophrenia and other mood disorders, and many of these disorders are accompanied with memory issues. Auditory impairments may range from mild to moderate hearing loss, or the experience may be the inability to perceive any sound. Videos and audio clips, for example, may be difficult for people with auditory impairments to access. Physical and motor conditions may include weakness or the inability to use different limbs. This can impact one's ability to interact with and input information into form fields, and may dictate different configurations in workstations that might include larger monitors. It is important that form fields allow for speech-to-text input, as well as the use of alternative mouse and keyboard devices. Speech disorders may impact some users if speech is required to participate in a forum or to enter text into input fields. Users of assistive technology often benefit from tools and services that allow for the mitigation of their impairment. For example, people who are blind or visually impaired may benefit from screen reading technology that forces the focus of whatever device they are using to move from element to element to read the text associated. Screen magnifier users may enhance the colors as well as increase the size of the text, and mouse pointers and other visual indicators that might provide insight into where focus is on a given screen. And individuals experiencing color blindness or who struggle to interpret colors may benefit from different color filtering plugins and add-ons offered by different browsers. Individuals with cognitive, learning, and neurological disorders may utilize similar technologies to individuals who are visually impaired. However, text-to-speech programs are not to be confused with screen reading programs. Text-to-speech programs allow a user to highlight the text that they wish to be read aloud to them. If that text is contained within an image, that text is not going to be something that can be spoken to them. Individuals with cognitive, learning, and neurological disorders may benefit from different font types, color contrasts, or the ability to utilize alternative keyboards to input information or alternative mice devices that allow for greater error in clicking on small objects. Those with auditory impairments utilize media players and sites that leverage the captioning capabilities of the media player or allow for transcript text of audio clips. Individuals with hearing loss may also utilize hearing aids, FM loop systems, and other technologies to enhance the sound of audio from different media sources. Individuals with physical and motor impairments utilize assistive technology such as eye gaze, switch control, alternative keyboards, and speech-to-text for input into a computer. Often they do not utilize assistive technologies for output. However, some may benefit from the ability to control the speed at which content is played, and they may also be using larger monitors. Individuals with speech impairments often utilize on a variety of different input devices, including keyboards and mice, and may best be able to engage with digital content that is textual and that allows for keyboard entry. Universal design and digital content. Universal design refers to a design that is accessible to anyone, regardless of the tools that they might use to access that environment. In physical environments, we are accustomed to seeing wheelchair ramps and automatic doors. These are universal design principles in architecture that allow users with any mobility device to easily access physical spaces. Similarly, we must create digital spaces that allow for access to assistive technologies. This may include both input and output to a website or other digital content. Core universal design principles that assist assistive technology users include the proper and logical use of headings in web content, as well as source documents in Microsoft Word or in Adobe PDF documents. A second universal design core principle includes the use of table, column, and row headers. This allows screen reader users to better understand the information presented as they navigate a table. It is suggested also, as it relates to tables, that we avoid the use of nested tables and displaying complex information in one table. Try to break it down a little bit. That'll assist screen reader users as well as individuals with cognitive learning or neurological conditions better understand the information. A third universal design principle is alt text. Alt text, or alternate text for an image, can be accomplished in several ways. In properties of an image, you can add a description. And in HTML, you can use the picture element that includes a caption element in order to provide textual information about the image. If the image is simply decorative, it may not be necessary to put a short description, but rather an apostrophe in the description so that a screen reader knows that there is an image here, but that it contains no meaning as in context to the rest of the web page. Alternate text is also helpful for individuals on mobile devices and utilizing slow internet connections. Alternate text allows browsers to place text in placeholders rather than images, allowing websites to load faster. Another core universal design principle is understanding your tab order. Imagine if you had to use the tab key to move around your website. Would the information be read in order? This is what a tab order refers to, and it is important in helping screen reader users, as well as users of switch technology and eye gaze, as well as others, to easily navigate among the elements on a web page or in a PDF document. Logical link text is another universal design core principle. This means text that will tell the user where this link will go, rather than simply including the words "click here" as a link in line with other text. Using meaningful wording in the link text will assist assistive technology users, particularly screen reader users, and those utilizing switch technology and eye gaze, to understand where that link is going to take them. It may also benefit individuals with cognitive learning and neurological disorders better understand where a link will go, as they will not be required to gain context based on the words around the link. Multiple means of expression is another universal design core principle. This essentially means make sure that the information you are presenting is available in different ways. For example, if an error on a form is displayed in red, it might also be helpful to include the text "incorrect" or another image that might suggest to the user you need to come back to this field and fill it out. Also, specific to forms, if a field is required, including the word "required" or an asterisk in the form label may also be of assistance to screen reader users as well as those with cognitive learning and neurological conditions as they attempt to make sense of the information displayed on your page. Form control labels assist screen reader users, as well as users of switch technology and eye gaze, to receive additional feedback regarding what they are supposed to do when focus or the tab order places focus in a particular field. This can be helpful when a screen has scrolled up and hidden some of the visual text that is associated with a label. It's also important to understand one thing about the JAWS for Windows screen reader. If a form control does not have a label, JAWS attempts to locate adjacent text and assign a label to a given field. This may increase the number of errors presented by screen reader users. I have spoken some regarding a variety of different assistive technologies and core principles. Screen readers are very, very important testing tools when it comes to evaluating the accessibility of a website or other digital content. Most of the WCAG Web Content Accessibility Guidelines, not discussed in depth here, will apply to screen reader users. If an element cannot be accessed by the tab key, a screen reader user cannot find it, nor can a user of a switch technology or eye gaze. Heading structure creates a logical flow and helps individuals with cognitive and learning disorders better organize and understand information presented on a page, but it also creates a digital structure for screen reader users to navigate in order to locate content. A majority of the Web Content Accessibility Guidelines impact a screen reader user in one way or another. Ensuring that a website is accessible to a screen reader user does not ensure 100% compliance with accessibility. However, it is a good start. The Idaho Technology Authority, ITA, has established policies, standards, and guidelines that create a foundation for design and content success. The policy cites the Americans with Disabilities Act, and standards focus on all aspects of digital content and web publishing, not just those specific to accessibility. Guidelines reference the ADA specifically and provide a few examples. There is room for improvement in the Technology Authority guidelines and resources available to webmasters and content creators. And the SWAT team hopes to assist ITA and other stakeholders identify exactly what resources will be most beneficial to state employees. In conclusion, accessibility is all about making a space functional for all users, whether that space is physical or digital. Considerations for a screen reader are generally accepted as a solid baseline for accessibility for all users. The Idaho Technology Authority has existing policies, standards, and guidelines to build upon, and the SWAT team would like to work with you to continue to build upon the solid foundation ITA has established. If you would like to contact Lane or Nick, Lane is available at accesskeysconsulting.com, AXESS keysconsulting.com, or by phone 208-297-3341. Nicholas Stallings with the Idaho Assistive Technology Project is available by phone at 208-364-4561 or by email nstallings@uidaho.edu. Other SWAT team members you may wish to contact include Scott Pearl, Communications Instructor at the Idaho Commission for the Blind and Visually Impaired, 208-334-3220. Scott Hoover with Disability Rights Idaho, Dana Gover with the Northwest ADA Center, Janice Carson at the Idaho Assistive Technology Project, and Bill Farnsworth with the Chief Information Office. Additional resources and references are available for all users. Resources to the Web Content Accessibility Guidelines, conformance guidelines from section 508.gov. There is a Web Content Accessibility Guideline checklist. As well as other tools for creating and evaluating whether or not digital content is accessible to all users. Thank you for your time.